Welcome to the Coffee with Karen podcast, a weekly chat show discussing everything from holistic health to current affairs from a mental, physical and spiritual perspective. Get your weekly cup of positivity with a sprinkling of woo-woo.
Show today is Thursday and this is going out live on Mintwave Radio. You can simply ask Alexa for Mintwave Radio or go to the website mintwave-radio.com. And if you go to that website, you can also download the app for Android and Apple for the Podbean network. And feel free to take a look at who else is on our network. There's plenty of podcasts on there. So feel free to follow any, subscribe to any, and leave a comment. So today's episode is 159. And today we have the lovely Maria Antonietta. She is a coach and a consultant, and we're going to be talking about your healthiest and happiest self. I'm your host, Karen Roberts, helping coaches and therapists to get their message heard to the people who need it. Now, Maria Antonietta is very impressive, is a biomedical nutritionist, a psycho-neurologist and certified holistic health, life and wellness coach, NLP and Reiki master who works with their clients as their accountability partner, offering professional guidance, holistic teachings and well-researched advice. So welcome to the show, Maria.
Thank you. This is already like such a gift to me. Thank you for this introduction. My gosh, I'm going to hire you to introduce me to everyone on my network. Love it.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So first of all, before we talk about your healthiest and happiest self, if you'd like to share with the audience a little bit about your personal story and how you came to be doing what you're currently doing.
Oh, sure. Where I start, I grew up and raised in Brazil. My entire family is still in Brazil, but we are Italian backgrounds. My mom moved to Brazil when she was about 11 years old. So growing up, we had a very simple life. We didn't have a ton of money to buy all the other stuff that kids are buying, the junk foods, the toys and everything. My father was a very creative genius that I'm so grateful for having him in our lives. And I learned how to read with him with reading encyclopedia books. And ever since I had this drawn to anatomy books at a young age. And my mom, she did the best she could with nutrient-rich foods because we didn't have a ton to explore. 5 kids, a lot of kids. So she miraculously would make like delicious meals using few but powerful ingredients. So I grew up that way. Later in life, I became a ballet dancer. Always loved music and dance. And after an accident, I couldn't dance anymore professionally, which was a huge disappointment. I got invited to become a model. So I moved out of my home to São Paulo, which is a huge city, and became a model. And I noticed a huge change in my well-being. I had no idea back then that was my well-being or what was happening. I just all of a sudden start feeling not as happy or something was missing. Always searching for something. I wasn't sure why I felt bad about myself. Here I am having an opportunity that not many have and not feeling as happy. Fast forward a few years, moved to the United States, working as a model here as well, start losing a ton of weight. My skin became worse than ever. I become allergic to a bunch of problems, somewhat depressive, and start seeing doctors after doctors, finding myself with a ton of prescription meds for everything. And one day it hit me, aha moment. I'm like, wait a second. I am not that person. What's happening with me? Let me go back into how I was raised. And I start looking for those nutrients for mama's food. And all I could find was supermarket foods with frozen foods that look like the foods that my mom spent hours making in 2 minutes in the microwave. And I was like, no, this is wrong. I better start cooking. So I start cooking, and all of a sudden I feel life coming back to me. At that point, I didn't speak any English. So I chose to go into IIN, Institute of Integrative Nutrition, to start learning about nutrition so I can heal myself instead of going to just English school. And I fell back in love with the magic that is picking something from nature, simply modifying so you can eat, and the smells and the flavor and the colors, and the next day you have life back. So that was the beginning of everything. And then I got into a very hectic lifestyle, working, classes, internships, and life went on and on. Fast forward years and years, I start losing everything I work hard for. It was losses of financial losses, friendship losses, relationships. I lost a friend, a 34-year-old friend, due to illness. And I also lost part of my vision during an accident, and lost everything and didn't know how to get all that back. So here I am again, back to the doctor's offices, and already with all this knowledge piled up, and the doctors tell me, take this, take that. But that was trying to cover the symptoms. I was depressed, I was sad, I just lost so much and so many people. How could one pill just solve all my problems? I'm like, no. I start going right back to principles and cooking again, and quiet and prayer and meditation. And then I got my books. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have all this knowledge. Let me apply to myself. And that was the biggest school of life for me. And that's how I regained my happiness, my life, my vital energy. And I said, that's it. Everyone needs to know this. Everyone needs this guide and these helpful tips. And I went deeper and deeper into education on the body, the mind, the soul, and here I am today.
Wonderful. But isn't it funny that, like you said, you had all the knowledge there,
Mhm.
but
Yes.
knowledge by itself isn't going to change anything. It's the implementation of that knowledge.
Oh,
And
yes.
isn't it funny that we can all do it in a variety of subjects?
Yes.
And it's actually it's that little doing part, actually
Hmm.
implementing it into your daily life.
Right.
So
Yes.
what I'm hearing from you is, which I 100% agree, it's not just going to be the nutrients that are going in. Obviously, that's your life force, isn't it? It's going to give you
Right.
energy, the right forms. But also, like you said, you suffered a lot of losses, loss of friends, relationships, a friend passed. That's all causing stress.
Mm-hmm.
And these combinations that a lot of people are going through, and I really don't think they have that real understanding of how much that is affecting the body. If you're not getting the
Right.
right nutrients in, plus in this day and age, we're bombarded with toxins and things, then the mental stuff on top, if you're going through grief or any kind of stress with work, then that's going to shut down part of the healing process in the body. And so it amazes me how we've ever got to this stage where we accept that a pill or a course
Mm-hmm.
of treatment is going to solve all that. Why would it? Your body's so complex, there's so many things going on. How would that solve all the problems that it is still just, it makes me
It's mind
crazy
blowing.
that
Yes.
we
You
don't
you
have a
said
look
it.
at this
Exactly.
holistic approach. So again, so what I'm hearing is, like so many, is that you dealt with it personally first, and then for you, why did you have that desire to then go on and share everything that you've learned and experienced, because you've solved the problems for yourself? What made you then go on to want to share that with others and help others do it?
I had an aha moment one day looking at myself in the mirror after a shower. And I looked at myself and I had tears coming down of appreciation for life at that moment, and for being up and being proud of myself for overcoming these obstacles. And yet, I did with grace somehow. Maybe it was a spiritual guidance that came through me. I don't know. But I was so proud of myself, and I felt like this self-love, like that came from within, like a warm hug that I thought everyone should feel this way about themselves. Every woman
Mm.
deserves to look themselves in the mirror and say, "You are beautiful. I love you. I'm proud of you." In today's age where we are bombarded with toxin words, toxic from foods, from products, from people, from it's that moment. And I love showers, by the way. Those are magic moments for me. Those moments when you and yourself in the hot water or in front of the mirror, that moment that is just you, and you can be your fully 100% you right there. No one is looking at you, no one is judging you, no one is criticizing you. Like those moments, those conversations with yourself are very important. And everyone deserves to feel accepted and feel good in this body. We're all so unique. We're all so beautiful. And everyone deserves to feel that way.
And many don't,
That's the
which is
sad part.
down to, I don't know, the way we've been brought up, the society we live in, social media. Like you say, it's toxic thoughts, not
Yes.
just foods, toxic thoughts,
Hmm.
toxic foods. As you say, there's stuff that we're using every day that's
Yes.
not good for us, right? We
Right.
still use it. It's never one thing. Not one thing is
Mhm.
going to kill you, is it? It's the accumulative effect over years of these negative self-talk, because actually we can be our own worst critic. So it might
Oh,
not even be toxic words from other people, but it can be toxic words we're
right,
giving to
right.
ourselves, which is, as we all do it. But it's funny when we talk about it and you can take a step back and you think, we're crazy, man,
Yeah,
for doing it. It's a form of self-harm. So you're
exactly.
helping people be their happiest, healthiest
Healthy
self. And
self.
so how do you do that?
So I don't have a black and white or a catalog to say follow these steps. There are a few things that everyone can do, but as I said, we're all so unique in so many different ways. We come from different backgrounds. We have different blood types. We have different likes and dislikes. We have different budgets. All of that is going to influence your process. But everyone can start that process by detoxifying from certain products and certain foods without any expense. The doing less is doing so much more for your body, because then you allow your body to have a chance to do the work for you. Our bodies work so hard and waste so much energy constantly digesting, constantly detoxing, constantly thinking. It's like, give yourself a break, give your mind a break, meditate. Does not cost you a thing. Breathe. Take 1 minute to take a deep breath. Doesn't cost you anything. Go for a walk. No cost. Drink more water. Like sleep a little earlier, sleep more. There are a list of a few things that everyone can do. And there is so many other options that others can, depending on who you are. So I'll go from there. Let's see where you are. My first consultation is about 2, sometimes can go up to 3 hours long, because I need to know you. You need to be honest with yourself and with me. Let's understand who you are today, where you are today. What's your knowledge about your own body? What's your knowledge about what's happening? What are your fears towards the future? Financial, disease, prevention, love life? What are the things that are stressing you the most? Let's work on this like one at a time. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. And 1 month go by and you're like, wow, I make a huge progress already. What can it be
Mm.
done after 3 months, after a year? And you start implementing these little modifications, and soon you see huge results. I can talk a
And
lot,
like,
sorry.
no, it's lovely. I think this is it, isn't it? And it's always the simplest things that work. And yet, I suppose we have a tendency to overcomplicate things.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, we're looking for something new, but actually take off and let's go back to the basics. And it's always
Yeah,
the basic things that work. Like you say, this stuff doesn't have to cost. And
exactly.
the meditating, what does that cost? Nothing. Clearing the mind, but also clearing the body. Like you said earlier about our bodies are constantly digesting.
Oh, yeah.
And we all overeat, and we've got into this habit of eating too often.
Snacking
So
constantly.
constantly,
Yeah.
when in throughout history did we consume things so much? But like you say, we've got, depending on where you live, okay, I'm in the UK, you're over there in the States, very similar, right? We copy you guys. So everything's out of a packet, everything is ultra processed. And it just makes sense. I remember about 20 years ago being told to avoid. I've never had a microwave. I was always told that it's the fact that it just destroys all the digestive enzymes. So it's like dead food.
Destroy.
You're just eating empty. It's just
Yeah.
dead.
You spend money buying something, then you kill it, and then you it's like makes no sense.
Makes no sense. What was the point in
Yeah.
that other than the taste? Even if they come on,
Yeah.
be honest, they don't taste good, do they?
Yeah. No.
And so we've just seemed to have we become detached from our inner knot because we know, like you said, you
You
know
know.
that this isn't the stuff that your mother made for you. This is actually doesn't resemble anything that humans should be
Exactly.
eating at all.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it's convenience. We just live in this rat race that
Yeah, but
people will say it's not the truth, but they will say that they don't have time. It's not as we
right, you
can all
have to
make
make
time.
time. Yeah.
You choose. Are you scrolling? Are you
Yeah.
watching rubbish, or are you fueling your body? But do you think it's because it's almost we've become detached? It's like eating is a social. It's become a social thing. It's no longer is it just about fuel,
Right.
because we've linked it to social settings or going out with friends or treats. We've been
Right.
brought up to think, okay, you did good at school, let's go for ice cream. Your birthday, you've got jelly and ice cream. All the worst things that we could be eating that are not going to be fueling us, and they're not going to have a positive effect on our mental health either.
Right.
But we seem to have everything backwards in these days, don't we?
Oh, very. Oh my, you said beautifully. And you said it with a smile. I love that. It's very sad. Food is one of the best things in life. Who does not enjoy to sit in a table or somewhere and having this beautiful meal presented to you ready to eat? And that's a social, yeah, it's a very social experience, and we all should have that. Why not? Why not celebrate sometimes? However, I think we are so disconnected from the point of and so jaded with the idea food gets to you, may eat it. Breakfast comes to you, eat it. You don't know anything about this food, how it was made, is it clean? It's not even clean most of the times. Is it real food or is all paste and sauces and sugars and think? Let's be more mindful. Think, just think. You you are capable. We're all capable to make choices. Prioritize. Give yourself the gift of being more mindful about all the things you put into your body because those things gonna become who you are. It becomes yourself. Are you chasing a new dream or a new career in life? Is your goal to lose weight? Is your goal to clear your skin? Is your goal to sleep better? My goodness, so many benefits comes from a night's sleep, from a good night's sleep. Always starts with this. It's not all
Yeah.
about this, but it starts here. And it's funny, right? One little part of our entire, so much power here, power of words that come in and words that go out, all here, foods that go here, water, drinks, alcohol versus water. Are you thinking about the ratios? Are you being
Yeah.
mindful that you thirsty? You thirsty for what? If you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated.
That is one of the most basic things, and yet
Basic
I would say so many.
or
Again, we've
lacking.
we're just not thinking about it. I can remember I used to just ask my dad, like, do you even drink water? How many glasses of water do you drink a day? Nah.
Yeah,
But it's because we don't get this. It's almost, I suppose we all do this in a way that we wait. We have this bad habit. I consider it a bad habit of mine, that we tend to wait until something's wrong before fixing it.
right,
Like if our face did erupt the moment we ate something bad, we
right,
would maybe look at choosing to, but some people obviously do get reactions. Like you said, I know for me personally, if I eat a lot of bread products, wheat product, I know it doesn't agree with me. And if I get into some bad habits, which I can do, I can get
right.
complacent and fall back into some bad habits. And then
Oh,
all of
yeah,
a sudden, I will start getting maybe a bit that looks like eczema on it's like my body's telling me,
right.
stop. But
Hmm.
yet, just because somebody's not getting, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not affecting them badly. They're just not getting the alarm bells
They,
going off.
because it's a silent little devil right there. It goes in little by little, and then one day you have diabetes. One day, 20 years from now, you have a problem that is no longer easy to fix. Now you
Ah,
need treatment. Or I'm not even going into much bigger problems like cancers and other diseases, but so many people have autoimmune diseases nowadays. They shouldn't have. So many people are suffering. You get a cold and that's it. They can't get out of bed from a cold. Where is your immunity? Your immunity was wasted doing, like, trying to recover from so many other times that now it's just you're exhausted. You need
yeah.
energy, you need water, you need rest. I feel like
And
if I could put everyone in my pocket and just prevent them from doing, oh my God.
it's empowering though, because again, like you said earlier, we have as a society come to this conclusion somehow that if things start breaking down, if your skin erupts, if you're getting constant tummy ache and things like, then we want to go to the powers that be in a white coat to give us this miraculous pill, which I
Right.
get. Wouldn't it life be easy if everything could
Oh,
be solved with a magic pill? But it's never going to happen. I don't believe it's ever going to happen because we are such complex beings. But I think it's empowering for people to know that actually they can change it. They can change it.
they
I'm
can.
not here saying that you can cure all sorts, because if it's taken a long time to come in, yeah, maybe you do need some intervention of
Right.
a pill because it's the acute stage.
Right.
However, knowing that, okay, even if you did that, go back and correct what you're doing, the body can heal itself, can't it?
Oh, that's the beauty of it. We are magical. I believe we are spiritual beings living a human experience. We are energy beings. There's energy inside of you. There is emotions going in and out of you all the time. Emotions are energy in motion. So let that emotion run. Your body, your life has a rhythm. Learn that rhythm about you. There's the circadian rhythm. If you wake up early enough, you hear the birds and you hear the animals and the sunlight, and there's a rhythm to everything. And we have that rhythm. It's a beautiful dance. I compare life with a dance. And just like a party, you start with the slower songs and then you get into the later on you slow down again, and that's life. And I think my main goal in life is to educate people to bring their life back and to go towards a longevity in terms of a healthy long life, because you work so hard, you spend so many times and so many years studying and doing the hard work for what? For one day when you finally have the financial freedom or the time to enjoy, you can no longer, because now you're depending on treatments, you're in the hospital, you're in a wheelchair, you're in pain all the time. That's not how it's supposed to be. Like our
Right.
golden years are supposed to be golden years, like fun, the best of life. So let's work towards that. And it starts now. It's never too late.
And that I think is, yeah, that's massive. It's because people do, it's almost like some people just give up because
Yeah.
again, they can be told, oh,
Yeah.
it's your age. You can expect
Oh,
that's
I
normal. No, it's not
no,
normal.
no, that's not normal. There's not,
We
no, that's wrong.
we've somehow got disconnected from it all, haven't we? So
Yeah.
what is the way back? What would be your top tips for people to start? So you've mentioned the breathing, you've mentioned meditating, you've mentioned getting the right nutrients in and trying to
Mhm.
eliminate the negative. What other things could people start to do to really know? Because I suppose, as with you, and I can say this personally as well, it's only when you do things you know it, because you know for yourself how things have changed. It's not enough sometimes to just hear a podcast, somebody saying you should do this, or reading a book about doing it. It's in the doing it and having that inner knowledge yourself of you've gone through an experience, right?
Right.
So what could people do to start the process?
So start by simplifying everything. Shut down the noise. Stop listening to 500 different tips and tricks to lose weight or to do this and this. Like, quiet things down first. Go to the grocery store, go to where you get your produce or your foods. Spend more time in the produce aisle. Everything and anything there you can eat as much as you want. As much as you want. Come up with a few restrictions. Don't eat too late. Respect your body. Understand that when you go to sleep, your body go to work. There is a reason why we go to sleep at night. You lay flat, right? You lay so your body can rest, circulation can kick in, the organs can start detoxifying, the cerebral fluids, spine fluid goes to the brain, does all the work, and then releases back down. That's the only moment the brain can detoxify. So respect that cycle. Learn about yourself. Try, just try. And then wake up in the morning, drink a full glass of water. If you can drink a full glass of water, start with half glass. Drink as much as water you can in the morning. Wash all that out. Help the detox process. And then already take the pressure off having to drink a lot of water throughout the day. I cannot sip on water. I sip on tea, but water I drink by like large glasses every time. If you work from home, it's a little easier. If you out, it might be a little more complicated. So drinking as soon as you wake up, you can drink up to a liter of water right there before you brush your teeth. Change your toothpaste to a natural toothpaste, especially in the morning. Yeah, there are a few rules, but it's all about simplify. Respect your body, respect the sleeping cycle, respect the wake up ritual. Move a little bit. You got out of bed, like your body just spent hours and hours laying flat. So move a little, put on some music, relax, start appreciating the fact that you got up. Like a quick little prayer before you even open your eyes. Gratitude goes a long way. So I would start with that. Simple little things you can do that cost nothing to anyone.
Yeah. But yeah, that, and there be the problem sometimes. Anything that's easy to do, I can't think who wrote that. Anything that's easy to do is easy, just as easy not to do,
Not to do.
which is why it's so important to create habits, because again, we live in this instant gratification. I did that. I got up this morning, I drank 2 glasses of water, just like Maria said, and I don't feel any
Yay!
different. But it's because they want the instant, and it
No.
it's got to be done consistently, hasn't it? It's got, these changes need to become a morning. We've all got morning rituals. Everybody will
Yeah.
have Some could be worse than others. Some are looking at their phone as soon as they get up. Others, they've got to have a coffee before they can even operate. Others need to have a shower first. So everybody has a morning ritual. So really what I hear from you is just start inserting some simple things into your current morning ritual. Do it long enough to change it. And you're going to notice changes. But you do so many things. You do so many things. So you obviously offer quite a wide range of services. So would you like to share what other things that you can offer people?
Yeah, when I start treating my own self, I start going deeper and deeper into nutrition, and I saw that wasn't only nutrition. Then I went into the mind. The connection between the brain and the mind is a big deal for me. And I learned about the power of words and affirmation and exercise, literally exercise. Just like you exercise your muscles, you need to exercise your brain. And focus comes right back. If you combine both of them, nutrition and exercise, it's like miracles start happening. And then Reiki, spirituality, it was a beautiful teacher to me. And I believe we are spiritual beings living a human experience. We have 4 bodies. The physical body, we pay a lot of attention to 24 hours a day. But also there's your rational body, your emotional body, and your spiritual body. So all the services are catered to that person I'm talking to. Some people, we start right away with nutrition modifications. Some people will go straight into spirituality. Some like more of the neuroscience effect. They're more proactive. They need to have lists and to-dos. And okay, so let's go that way. So my program is very flexible because it's made for that one specific person, because that's how I am. I believe we all are very unique. I cannot give you the same program I'll give me. It's a nightmare. It won't work.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why things need to be bespoke, isn't it? Because we are all different.
Right.
And again, that you've got so many moving parts there. So which one's out of sync, which one's out of balance? And so then you're just looking at the whole person to figure out. I love I've never actually had a Reiki session personally,
Oh my
but
God.
I love I know. And I've
Let's work
often
on
thought,
that.
yeah, I should do that. What I say to people is I'm a cheat. I use a device for frequencies
Okay.
because
Right.
I haven't learned how to, because I think everybody has the ability of doing it. I
Right.
just haven't taken the time out to actually go and study it properly and learn about it, because we all can do it. It's just
Oh yeah.
we need to understand how to connect, and we are all
Exactly.
energy. We are
Oh
all
yes,
energy.
we are. And it's
That's that.
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's like you can see the energy change on a person, and independent of your level of sensitivity or spirituality. On their eyes, you feel on each hug or each word they say to you. You feel it. You feel that energy like bouncing back. And that's so beautiful. People, like, after programs, they become, as one has described to me, alive. She said, I had no idea I could feel this good. And that is mind blowing.
Yeah.
And we all can, and we all should. It's beautiful. And there's so many options today. There are so many tools and so many ways we can. And technology is amazing. There's little gadgets and apps for everything and anything. So depending who you are, there's different ways that you can achieve all these goals, or how you can improve. There's always room for improvement. I believe as we getting older, there's so much improvement and we learn so much from life.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not done yet. I'm going to be 51.
Wow,
Just
look at you.
still learning. There's still so much to learn.
Sure.
it's a never-ending journey for all of us, right?
Yeah, but that, you see, uh, if you allow me, you, for example, you said, I'm going to be 51. And how beautiful is that you, as a woman, can just proudly say, I'm 51 for many reasons. But this other side of that, you have such a youthful energy about yourself that shows that you appreciate your life. You love what you do. And that beautiful, youthful energy comes alive. If we put you to do a job where you're like miserable, you won't be able to be yourself. You won't be able to
100%.
find that joy is out there. You can make it pretty with makeup and accessories or with nothing. That joy, that beauty comes from within. And that's the beauty of us, of being human. So love that.
Yeah. I think we tend to be slowly killing ourselves. We are
Yes.
we are our own worst enemy. We are the ones that
Yes.
make us ageist. I ageist just to be fair, Maria, I'm a little bit of a rebel. So it was probably always going to be like that. I rebel against, I can't see my hair's having a rest from my pink braids
I noticed that.
and
I love the pink braids.
yeah, my pink braid. I feel naked without my braids.
It's so cute.
Interestingly, when I was 30, I listened, and this is the power of words. I lived in, and you say you're Brazilian, so I lived in Portugal for 8 years,
Mm,
and I allowed a stranger's comments to affect me because I had
mm.
my pink braids back then. I've had my pink braids for the last, since I was, under 30. And he said to me, "Aren't you a bit old to have your hair like that?" But I went home and I took them out. That's even sillier. I'm not
Oh,
now looking back, I'm not upset about the comment, but what I am upset is how I took ownership of that. He was nothing to me, but this is how, when we're not aware of this stuff, we can
mhm.
allow somebody's toxic words to
Yeah.
actually have an effect on us. And then I took them out. Obviously, they went back in
They
later
right back.
on. I thought, I don't care. But isn't
Good
it
for
funny
you.
that we sometimes allow other people's opinions of us
Oh, many
to
times
actually
is a daily
affect what
basis.
we do?
Yeah, it's
And there's
sad.
no need. If you want to go
Go
pink.
pink. Go pink. I love pink. Like I feel, what we said earlier about being mindful of your words. Sometimes it's not even your intention, but you might hurt someone. You might anchor something in someone in a negative way because your words, because your own experience. That person probably feel old and feel like can no longer do things that he did or she did when was younger, but project it towards you. But that's not you. That's not your problem. Leave it with them. Don't allow that to enter your life. Don't bring it. I find when someone says something negative to me or harmful, I try to visualize as if they want to give me a gift that is not beautifully wrapped. I like everything to be pretty. So, ugly words or ugly phrases or negative thoughts are ugly gifts. And I choose to, no, thank you. You keep it.
Ah,
Go away.
that's a wonderful tip because yes, so many
Yep.
people, we can react to.
Yes,
So I used to be a big reactor, not so much these days, still work in progress
we
because we
all
can
are.
take things personally.
Yes,
And yeah, love that. Yeah, no, I'm not accepting that. Have it back.
you
Have it
keep
back.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you keep it.
And then you
Rather
have
than,
your hands free to receive beautiful
oh,
gifts.
love that. So
Oh,
so
good.
you've mentioned a few things that you do, but what is your favorite self-care practice and why?
My favorite self-care practice, I think, would be my showers. I spend a ton of time in my shower. I don't like to waste water, but I do spend a ton of time in my bathroom. I make my bathroom the most amazing it can be, the most spa-like it can be. So I have my essential oils. I listen to podcasts or music that calms me down or give me energy if it was early in the morning depending on what I feel. It's food for my soul, that moment alone. I do little massages on my face for self love, self care. I believe in that. I do whatever makes me feel good about myself and whatever makes me feel like I'm appreciating what I have. So I go to sleep feeling that way because your night's sleep is really the beginning of your next day. Your day starts on the night because depending how you're going to go to sleep and what's in your mind is how you're going to wake up the next day. So my favorite of all, I think it has to be my shower time. And I
Mm.
love it. It's my moment. Do not disturb me. Don't knock on my door. Don't, it's me.
That's a wonderful tip because, you know, so many people, a lot more people are talking about the importance of self-care
Oh, yeah.
because and I'm not just saying women, but I'm saying a lot of women, especially if they have maybe
Mhm.
younger children, they can be so much on them that they almost have feelings of guilt
Guilt, yes.
if they go and spend time and self-care. And some people may think you've got to go to a spa or go and have a massage, but actually the simplest thing is just as you suggested,
Hmm.
take
At
time
home.
out to spend time, either have a relaxing bath or shower, have some Epsom salts or essential oils, time to meditate or music. And this is perfect for people, you know, it doesn't have to cost any money.
No,
Doesn't
does
have
not.
or doesn't have to cost loads of money. How
Okay.
much is an essential oil or some Epsom salts? It doesn't have to be good. It's just time out to and yes, I love that. See, I have a morning ritual. I don't have an evening ritual, so I think I'm going to change that. I'm going to go and have a nice relaxing bath
You can
before I
have
go to bed.
both. You can have little bits of here and
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
because it's funny, and then it is only in the doing it when you because I can get caught up in work and I think, oh, I haven't
right,
got time for this, and I've got time for
right.
this, and then actually when I get back to it, what I find is everything flows a lot easier. So I might feel like
Yes,
I'm busy, but if I have actually taken that time to spend doing some self-care, then when I do go to the computer, I'm actually more in the flow, get the work done in a
yeah.
lot shorter time rather than and
Oh,
ahhing and
yeah,
changing my
exactly.
mind. And so
Yeah.
again, it's this false thought that that should come last.
Mm.
Whereas actually what you're saying is
That
actually
comes first.
that yeah, that comes first because everything
Yeah,
else will flow differently. You're going to
yes.
feel happier.
And
Everything is going to improve.
exactly. And Carrie, one important thing to remember is the better you feel, the healthier you are, the more you'll be able to achieve, the more productive you'll be, the more helpful to others you'll be. So it is priority. And at the bathroom, for example, it's important moments with yourself. How many women are feeling lonely and forgotten and in that moment with yourself? It's important. And put on lotion your body, take care of your skin. This is your biggest organ that takes care of everything that is inside. This beauty of us here tell us how our health is doing. Look yourself in the mirror, pay attention, and then think or read books, listen to podcasts. There's so much information out there. But meditation goes hand to hand with these moments of mine because those are my mindful meditation moments. They're not the sit down quiet meditations, which I love also, but those are moments that you go into this flow. And sometimes, a lot of times, ideas come and
All the
organization
time.
skills come. Yes, as
All the
well as
time.
cooking. Cooking is a meditating moment. When you chop in your food and you listen to music, make that moment something to enjoy, not something I have to do this. No, enjoy that moment. Wash those fruits, take a bite of things prepping to eat. Enjoy the aromas and the smells that come with it. Set up a little corner for you if you're eating alone. Doesn't matter. Make a little pretty setup for you. Enjoy that moment. You're feeding your body, you're feeding your soul. Like then you go to sleep and you feel like taken care of. You feel accomplished. You feel good. You feel clean. And it's not just from the bath, but like you put good nutrients in, good is gonna come out.
Yeah, it's the whole process. So, yeah, but
It's
and
the whole
again,
process.
people think that, oh, if I'm going to go and meditate, I've got to go and spend an hour, and I haven't
Yeah.
got time for that. Like you say, it doesn't have to. It could be a couple of minutes
Uh-huh. And
whilst
it's
you're
so
in the shower. So
effective.
you're doing
Yes.
two things at the same time, but actually not thinking and just being, just
I was
practicing
taught
being.
to meditate many years, almost 30 years ago, and it was by this doctor who was about to retire, and he was an allergist in New York. And he said, the best things we do in life, we do when we're naked in the shower. And I laughed so much. And he said, do you meditate? I said, no, I don't know how. He goes, I am going to teach you. Oh, my headphone just fell, sorry. And he said, I'm going to teach you. Here's a best meditation practice for beginners. Go in the shower. Hot water is falling to your shoulders, your head. And you don't even need to close your eyes. Just start counting. Count 1, take a breath. 2, take a breath. 3, 4, 5. See how far you go. Many people cannot pass 6. Count to 6 because thoughts come in. Then you go, oh my goodness, how did I go back to 1? And that's how you start practicing. And it's fun. It's a little game you do with yourself.
A little challenge every day
Yeah,
because that's it. But again, it takes practice. Nobody just
it takes
started off
practice.
meditating for an hour.
No.
A lot of people couldn't, like you say, so 6, that's quite a
I love guided
worrying number.
meditations, and I do that a lot with my clients, guided meditations, and it works so well. Some people need guidance, some people can do on their own. I saw a quote once that I forgot who said, maybe Gandhi said, my day is so busy, then I need to meditate twice a day now. And at first didn't make sense to me, but then I start practicing like, oh my gosh, I can be so much more productive now. So I love meditation.
And that's the key. It's this
Mhm.
misinterpretation that people think they've got to, I haven't got time,
Yeah.
because that would have been my instant
Yeah.
excuse. I haven't got time. Do you not realize how busy I am? Like I'm wearing a badge of honor. And instead, actually, because it's when we are quite often, okay, I'm talking about myself here, if I'm honest. When I get caught, I'm busy. If I actually look at what I've achieved that day, it won't be as much as if I had taken time out of my day to spend
Uh-huh.
meditating. And then
Exactly.
because it doesn't feel like you're as busy because you are in the flow and you get more done. So from a productivity, again, it's this misinterpretation that I've got all this
Mhm.
too much to do, so I haven't got time to meditate. But actually, that saying is spot on. That means you need to meditate because you're going to get more stuff done in a shorter time frame so that you won't feel as busy. So, but it's
Exactly.
this, because it's not this instant, you can't gauge it instantly because, like we say, it takes time to get into the flow of it. But it
And
is
it
only
works
in
like magic.
doesn't it?
Yes.
I was used to
It's
think, oh my
beautiful.
goodness, I've overcomplicated things. It's so much simpler. So I have to give
Oh,
myself a
so
good
much
talking to
simpler.
sometimes. Go back,
There you
retract,
go.
go back.
Yes.
Because again, we have this, maybe not all, again, I'm talking about myself here.
Right.
I can
Most
have
most
a
of
bad
us.
habit
Yeah.
of totally overcomplicating things, getting all worked up.
Right.
Oh, I've got all this to do. And yet, actually, that means, okay. It's my excuse now to have an extra bath later on.
Yes, exactly. And maybe you start adding these rituals once a week, just to like plan a day that just once a week that you can. And then maybe
Yeah.
shorten that little ritual by 20 minutes and do it twice a week. And until you get to every single day. But even though not every single day has to be an hour long, but your body will adapt. Your body will crave that. And you can do traveling, you can do it at home, you can do when you have guests on. So just be honest. Say, you guys enjoy the TV show. I'm going to go for my bath. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go for, I need to read my book. Put your legs up on the wall at night time. Allow circulation to give a rest. Read a chapter or two of the book. That can be your ritual. You can change things up. There's so many things we can do and we should be doing that we dismiss.
Wonderful. So, what for you, we're talking about books then. So, from all the things that you've researched and looked into, and what is your favorite? Do you have a favorite self development or business book?
I read a lot, Karen. I love books to the point that I am writing my own book. So at the moment, my own book is my favorite because I'm doing so much research to come up with this. And one day, if you allow me, I'll come back here and with the book. And it's all about longevity. It has all of these tips and steps to go over. But another one of my favorite authors and doctors is Dr. Alejandro Younger, and he created the Clean program, and I love his work. And most importantly, I love his mindset and the way that he presents and educate the public on health and the importance of eating things. So it's always good to find one person that you trust, that you can listen to, because you know the information is solid. And he
Yeah.
explains the whys and how, and it's just beautiful. So I love his books. I love the Clean program. There are other doctors that I follow that I'm always learning from. Dr. Bruce Lipton, also, my gosh, beautiful teachings. Dr. Joe Dispenza, All in the Mind, amazing.
That's
There's,
my
oh my
fave.
gosh, yeah, I love it.
That's my current fave. I go
Okay,
through fits and stuff. I like to do
right, me too.
e-
Like I
e-
go into
e-
phases. Yeah,
yeah. Eckhart Tolle and Joe
love it.
Dispenza are my sort of current faves but I'm not like you, Maria. I'm a bit I'm a bit lazier because I don't read a book. I'm a cheat again, and
You listen.
I do. It's all on Audible.
That's
I have
mine too.
Audible, yeah, I know. I shouldn't
As
even
long as
say
you
that.
get
See,
it
there you
done.
go. The power of the words. I shouldn't say that because cheats has a negative connotation to
Negative,
it. And I keep
right.
saying this. So I'm not cheating. I'm just
Look, but
doing it in
look
a
at the
different
other.
way.
You not, instead of just not doing it, you found a way of doing it that agrees with your schedule, with your personality type. You're more of auditory person. There you go.
Yes,
Then you listen to.
and
Beautiful.
it
Okay,
works.
I'm gonna come up with an audio book too, so you have no excuse.
Awesome. Any other sort of influencers? Who are your any other sort of favorite influencers other than that?
And this is a quick tip for everyone. My mother and grandmother and my ancestors, learn from them. They know, they know better. They've been here, they done that. Technology is different, but we're all humans. We all go through similar experiences. Listen to the stories, learn who you are, learn where you come from. Ask for recipes of your grandma, of your great grandma, of your mom, before it's too late. Ask for those recipes, replicate those moments. Yeah, that's a huge influence for me, is my family, my core values, where I come from, my roots. And I think everyone should search and learn more and go. And the information is
Fantastic.
there for us. Yeah,
It There has never been a better time. We've got no excuse.
exactly.
We've
No
got no
excuse.
excuse. We've got it all at our fingertips.
Exactly.
So, for the listeners out there, if they're watching this on YouTube, then they'll have all your links below, or if it's via the podcast in the show notes, all your details would be there. But if they're just listening
Okay.
whilst driving or whatever, how would they get in touch with you and why should they?
Out of curiosity or necessity, you want to get in touch with me, get in touch with me. Let's connect. I love to chit chat. I love to talk health, wellness, beauty, longevity. I love to have these mindful conversations. So you can contact me through my website, maria-antonietta.com, or my Instagram, Love, Bliss, and Beauty, all together, simple. Facebook, the same handle. LinkedIn, the same. Or my email, maria@mariaantonietta.com.
Perfect.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to speak with us. Or
Thank you. Thank
eat.
you for having me.
So we'll have to get you back on once you've done your book.
Yes, yes, please. Oh, may I have a little gift for your listeners. Go on to my Instagram or directly to my website. Send me a direct message with hashtag a coffee with Karen, just that, and I will give to you a 20-30 minutes free consultation with me live, so we can go over tips for beauty, healthy, longevity, anything that you're curious about.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you, Karen.
To the rest of the listeners, so get in touch. You've got all her details. Get in touch with Maria if you want to be happier and healthier. Who doesn't? And I will be back then on Monday. So have a wonderful weekend. I will see you then. Bye for now.
Beautiful.
Coffee with Karen podcast, a weekly chat show discussing everything from holistic health to current affairs from a mental, physical and spiritual perspective. Get your weekly cup of positivity with a sprinkling of woo-woo.